Hello, welcome back. I have the Hello Darlin collection here on my desk, and I love this collection. It's so fun and it's unique because it has like this 4th of July patriotic feel, but you could also go florals. So there's a lot of different things you can do. So that's kind of the 4th of July paper. This one has little stars. Then you have a classic plaid, and then this is just a nice neutral background. They look like little bursts, and then a classic striped pattern. Along with this paper pack, there is a coordinating 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Let me grab that so you can see all of the fun embellishments here. So there's some border strips, word stickers, a couple different title options. I love the lanterns. Those are so fun. And I also got the workshop bundles. So there's some bonus pattern papers, which are these 3 here. And the workshops are really fun. They give you everything you need to create 3 double page layouts, and these are the coordinating die cuts that go along with the workshop. You just pop these out, and I love having all of these little bonus pieces to work with, so I usually get the workshop options. You get a color guide that tells you where everything goes. It takes the guesswork out of it, so you can just put these together, and they're pretty fun little layouts here. So you can see the 3 different options. I am going to be scrap lifting this layout here from the catalog. I absolutely love it. I think it's so fun. And if you look, there are some similarities between this one and the left side of that page in the workshop, but I definitely am going to be using the catalog. I also have the pocket cards I'm going to be pulling in, and then the paperboard and acrylic embellishments as well. Now this little packet here is kind of a mini packet, and this comes with the workshop as well as these red acrylic shapes. There are additional acrylic shapes as well as the paperboard embellishments with this collection. In case you don't get the workshop, I got the workshop and the additional pieces because I love having all of these things to embellish my projects with. So these are those paperboard die cuts. I know it's kind of hard to see. It says best day ever. And then traditions, spectacular, celebrations, smile, lots of fun title options. And then of course the florals, and then those bursts that you can use for, more patriotic look. Using the catalog layout for inspiration, I do not have the measurements, so I just kind of had to eyeball it. We are going to use that for our background. And then for these pieces, I, took my best guess. I have 10 by 8.5 for the background. The white piece is 9.5 by 8 inches. That's going to sit right in there. Now, I don't want to waste all of that star pattern paper behind there, so we are going to gut the center of this out. Depending on how wide you want your margin, I only have 1/4 inch, so I'm bumping this in 3/4 inch. So that will still give me enough space to adhere my white paper layer. So you just lift up your cutter, and then there are the measurement marks on the actual arm of the cutter. So you can just start 1/4 inch down and stop 1/4 inch from the bottom. Now, again, this will vary depending on how much of a width your border is. And then you can just snip the corners if you didn't quite meet up perfectly. And then to make this easier, I'm going to apply tape runner around the very inner edge of this piece, and then I can line up the white layer over the top. Go ahead and get that. It's kind of, flimsy because there's not much paper to support that. But once we get this adhered together, it's easier to work with. Before I do that, I want to add a little sapphire inking to the edge just to define the, layers a little bit more. This just gives it a little bit of a shadow. The memory I'm documenting today took place on the 4th of July. We were at a fireworks show, so I'm definitely going to be bringing in that patriotic feel. I did go ahead and pause the camera and gut the underside of that piece of paper as well. I have one photo. This is myself along with my best friend and her sister. We are in Stanley Park, Estes, Colorado, and it was so fun. We were on a motorhome road trip, and we just happened to come through this town on the 4th of July where they had a huge fireworks celebration. It was really, really memorable and very awesome. Something that became a highlight of the trip, even though it wasn't really planned in the beginning. I'm pulling out the pocket cards that they used on the inspiration layout, but I just want to double check and make sure there's not something that might work better for my photo. I am happy with these, so I'm going to go ahead and define the edges of this journaling card here. I love the look of lined notebook paper. I think it's so fun. And then this one, I'm at a retreat, so I forgot my edge distressor, and I always tell you guys you can use the outside edge of your scissors. So I'm going to show you right now that it does work, and it works great. So I'm just roughing this up. I like a little texture on my layouts, and this adds some subtle texture, and it's just kind of a fun, different way to finish off the edges. This pocket card makes it so easy. We have this big, beautiful floral embellishment, and it was just like a one and done there. This they have layered up here. I'm not 100% sure. Let's wait on that and bring in some of the stickers from the sticker sheet. So I'm going to start with the largest element first, which is this big circular kind of fireworks inspired burst. And then we have this one as well. And I am following the embellishments in the catalog pretty closely. They added some stamped florals to the catalog layout, and I don't have that stamp here at the retreat, so I'm going to just stick to the sticker sheet. Now we have this blue floral sapphire paper, which I think is really pretty, and this is going to just anchor the layout and just add some weight to the bottom of it. I'm going to sneak this underneath here, and then using those measurement lines on my VersaMat, I can line it up right at the 6 on both sides, so I know that will be even from the left to the right. They also had a couple strips of papers. This one here is one of the zip strips, and it's similar to the background paper, but it has darker colors. So I'm just going to cut off a few pieces. There's no sense in wasting this section that is behind. And then this is a tiny strip from the pattern paper, the striped pattern paper. And I do want those little red lines centered in this space, so I'm just kind of holding that up, eyeballing it, and trimming it off accordingly. I am going to end up moving the zip strip that looks similar to the background. It looks great in the catalog, but for some reason to me, it just kind of looks lost, and I don't know. I just felt it was unnecessary. So I'm actually going to pull those off and just leave it with the bold red. Before I add my journaling, I do want to add a little bit of detailing to this pocket card. Let me show you on the inspiration layout. They have used a stamp and stamped Best Summer Ever and then memories on the bottom. That is from the coordinating Hello Darlin stamp set, which is on its way. I just don't have it here at the retreat. And I love the layered florals, and you can see the title options, and that's where those little stamps came from. I'm going to kind of supplement with the Dream Maker stamp, and there are lots of little great sentiments on here that work well for scrapbook layouts. So I'm just going to kind of make sure that fits really quick. And mine says, living in the moment. And I thought, you know what, that's definitely appropriate. So, they had, again, Best Summer Ever, which would have been fun. But since we don't have that stamp, we're going to use what we have. I haven't used this yet, so I'm just kind of rubbing that on my hand to make sure it's seasoned so it will pick up the ink better. And then I always recommend you stamp a couple times on practice paper. It's just a piece of inexpensive printer paper. And you can see each time I stamp that, it got a little bit more crisp. So make sure you don't have any ink on the edges of your block. Line it up, and this is going to kind of start the journaling here on the top, just living in the moment, and then I can tell my story. I really like in the inspiration layout how they have the word party kind of swooping across the bottom. So let's go ahead and add that. And I did remove the stickiness because I'm pretty picky about my little swoopy banners, and I want my swoopiness to be evenly swooped. So I often pick these up and rearrange them multiple times until I get them just look like they were hanging evenly, because if they were hanging, you wouldn't have one higher than the other. You guys know what I mean. I will end up reinforcing those with a little bit of liquid glue since I made them not quite as sticky. I am bringing in a few more of the stickers. This one here says life is a, and I want those connected. So I'm going to bump my flower down so I can get that connected to the banner. I like things touching and kind of nestled together. We'll add a few of the leaves from the sticker sheet. Stickers are so fun. You want to talk about a quick way to put a layout together. The sticker sheets just really make everything come together quickly. In the inspiration layout, they have this little red acrylic banner and then this little blue and white gingham banner kind of layered over the top. It's cute, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use that. Let's hold off for now. Let's add a little heart up here and then some greenery stickers as well to kind of complement the floral. Plus, I want to carry that up. We have it in the pocket card on the right, and then I have the leaves down below. And just to create that visual triangle, I like to bring those elements up to the top. So let's add a little burst down here and then maybe layer the little blue paperboard shape over it. This one here is a paperboard element. It's kind of fun to mix and match the acrylic with the paperboard and the stickers, and it just adds a lot of dimension and interest to the layout. I want this little guy to stand out just a bit more, so we will ink the edges up. Now they do use that pocket card up top and it just feels kind of stuck there. So let's cut a tag. I have my tags and tabs and it really wouldn't be a Erin layout without a tag on it, right? You guys know how much I love my tags. So I just, cut a little bit of this pocket card because, not much of the tag is showing. So there's no sense in wasting it. And I like it. Yep, it needed a tag. It's just kind of my signature move. Let's layer a little red word sticker over the top. This one says memories, spectacular memories. I'm from California and we don't really get to have fireworks here because in the summertime everything's highly flammable. So it was a real treat to see this fireworks show. And stay tuned because I do have a video coming up showing how you can take a single page inspiration like this and turn it into a double page. So hint, hint, there's going to be more photos from this day and we're going to create a companion layout for this single page artwork from the catalog. I'm adding a little bow to the top of my tag with a glue dot, and I think that's pretty cute. Let's go ahead and document the story. I've got my black LePen journaling pen. I'm including the basic details like it was the 4th of July. We were in Stanley Park in Estes, Colorado, but we also wanted to get there very early so we had room to park our motorhomes. And luckily there was a skills, like a mountain bike skills park right in the same park. So the boys rode their mountain bikes for hours. I rode mine a little bit, but it had like jumps and just like different skills that you can session and practice. And they were in heaven. They loved it. We ate yummy food and just hung out. It was a very relaxing day. And then we ended it with the fireworks show. It was just amazing. I do want to bring attention to the date, being as how it was the 4th of July. So this is the date stamp, and this is super cool because it has this library card, and you can see it on the front. There's a pocket, a die that makes a pocket, and then a die that cuts out the library card. You can stamp the library card, but then there's the dates. You've got the days of the week, the months of the year, all sorts of good stuff. So I'm looking for July. We're going to stamp that. Let me grab a little block and my Sapphire ink. I ink this up and then we'll stamp the date on the bottom. I'm actually starting with the date because I want to work backwards to make sure I have room. So I stamped 21. This was July 4th of 2021. And then we'll stamp the 20. And then I can move to the 4th and then the month. There's also words on here, so you can, mix and match little words to fill out your journaling on the library card. I have used this a ton. This is one of those stamp sets that is a staple, and I will never get rid of it. I really love it. Let's add a little bit of sparkle with some silver Stickles to the banner. I'm just going to add a little tiny dot in between each of the banners so it kind of is connecting them and finishing them off. And, it's all about the sparkle on 4th of July, right? If you are interested in seeing how I take this single page layout and turn it into a double page, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss when that video goes live. Everything I used to create today's layout can be found in the description box below. Just go ahead and click the See More button and it'll open up with all the information. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you're looking for more inspiration, check out this video right here.